This problem, we're given a parabola, 2x squared plus bx minus 24 equals 0, and we're told that one of the roots is negative 8. So I've drawn negative 8 here in the root, and we also have the y-intercept. So I've given the graph the y-intercept down here, and we know it's a positive leading coefficient, so we know that the graph has to be facing up, so we've drawn the graph facing up. And we're trying to find the possible values of b and the value of the other root. So how we're going to set this up is we're just going to set this up based on the root. So we have the root here is going to be x plus 8. And we know that the other factor must include a 2x. And we're just going to say minus m because we don't know what that other root is. And maybe I'm just going to highlight that. That minus m has to do with that other root down here. And we're just going to make that equal to 0. And this expression here is equivalent to this expression here. This one has an m, this one has a b. So what we're going to do is use a strategy called equating coefficients. So I'm just going to expand this out and make it look like the expression that we were given. So expanding this out, I get 2x squared. I'm going to end up with negative mx plus 16x minus 8m. And that's equal to 0. So we can equate the coefficients here in that we know that this constant term here must match the constant term here. Well, if that's the case, then we can solve for m, because we can come up with this equation here. We can come up with an equation that says that negative 8m must be equivalent to negative 24, because that's the equivalent coefficient. Solving for m, we end up with m equals 3. Now, if m equals 3, we can now then equate this coefficient, the coefficient on x, with the b. Okay, so if I rewrite this if I group this a little bit better, so I'm going to end up with 2x squared, and then plus 16 minus m x minus 8m, which I know is 24. I know that I can equate this middle coefficient with the b value, so I know that m minus 16 minus m must be equal to the b value, and that's from that blue. And solving for the b value, I know that since m is 3, b is equal to 13. Okay, so there's our b value. And then if we want to solve for the root, the other root comes from the factor here. So the other root is going to be x is equal to m over 2, and m being equal to 3, we end up with 3 over 2 for the value of the other root.